What's brappin', my fellow Nitro heads? We're gonna be unboxing the first engine for my Losi 8XT today. I wasn't expecting this thing to come. I ordered this thing in September. It was supposed to be here on Halloween. It never showed up, so I called the credit card company and asked for my money back. And today's the 17th of December, and this just showed up. I am stoked. We have to open this thing up. Alright, we got this thing in the plastic still. Let's rip this plastic off. And what really made me want a Novarossi for my Truggy is I heard what was happening with Novarossi. I thought I have to get one of these engines while I still can. So I searched high and low and I found a Novarossi Roma.25. And I've wanted one of these engines for a long time. Look at that. Look at that. You can tell this is a newer one. I haven't even looked at the birth certificate yet. Let's have a look. 2020, this year's engine. Wow. Yeah, you can tell this is a newer Novarossi engine because first off, they don't supply any Venturis in the recent years. They stopped supplying the covers for your intake, exhaust, inlet nipple, and they used to supply a cover for your crankshaft, as well as they don't give you the nice blue shielded bearing anymore. Oh well. This is a beautiful looking engine. Beautiful. Let's open this thing. Oh yeah. Beautiful. And look at that. Piston's almost at bottom dead center. Right here she is with some caps on her. Very nice engine so far. We may take the back plate off and the head off and have a quick look. But in the meantime, let's have a look what we got in the box over there. So right here we have, I call this the birth certificate because it tells you when the engine was made. You see that manufacturer year 2020. I can't believe this engine was made this year. I would have liked to have an engine that was a little older, but so this is just a little blow up of the engine. Wow, this is even in color somewhat. So this is just a blow up of the engine, and it shows the part number for all the parts in case you blow this thing up or want to replace a part that's worn. And there's the recommended pipe and headers for this. On the back, it's not even in English. Oh, somewhat it is. Just factory settings for this engine. We got an awesome Novarossi sticker. I wish there was more in this box, but it doesn't seem like there is. And this is warranty, and I do believe they give you break-in instructions on this page. Oh, what we got here? Safety rules, introduction, warranty, identification, blah blah blah, running in. Yeah, I told you there's a running in. Which type of fuel must be used? Best running in conditions, blah blah blah. And that's all you get in the box. Alright, I just disassembled the engine a little bit. I took the back plate off and the head off, just so you guys can see the piston and the bottom end of the engine. So we have here a dished piston, meaning that there's a little indent on the top of the piston. What that does is it lowers your compression a little bit and it allows more fuel to get into the combustion chamber. Novarossi calls it a team piston, but in the automotive world, we call that a dished piston. Here's our bottom end. It's got two sweet, I don't know what those are called, little fangs on the crank there. One thing I don't really like though is there's a hole in the crank pin there. That makes that crank pin a lot weaker. That's what happened to my, yeah, it's cheaper metals, but that's what happened to my Dynamite .21 RTR engine. They hollowed the crank and that made it significantly weaker and it snapped the crank pin. So I don't like the looks of that much. And this is another reason why you won't open your engines when they're brand new. I took this backplate off and I gave it a wipe with my fingers and it was filled with metal shavings. So that's why you want to crack your engines open when they're brand new, especially the cheaper end engines like your Taiwan engines, Chinese engines, even your Japanese engines. My OS, there was a bunch of metal shavings just sitting in the exhaust port. I had to clean that one out good, or it would have caused some damage. You definitely want to put this engine at top dead center when you're removing the backplate. There is a little notch there. As you can see here, when your piston goes to bottom dead center, your piston comes down and it sits in that groove. I'm gonna contact AMR, I think, and see if he has one of his custom backplates for this or if he can make me one. Because I got one of those backplates for my OS. It made it a beast. I made a video about that, but it didn't turn out good at all. So you guys have yet to see or know about my AMR backplate, but I do have one for my OS. Not even kidding. So she's all back together, and this is the screwdriver I use for my Novarossi engines. It's a snap-on. I think it's a 1/8" blade. It's by Snap-on. There's the part number. I've been getting some questions about this. So there it is. It's SSDE66C. This works awesome on the Novarossi screws. They fit in perfect. No plate. This is the perfect screwdriver for these screws. Now that this thing's back together, I think I'm gonna box it back up and get it modified. Anyone got any suggestions? Let me know.